One of the anchor points of the President Muhammad Buhari administration is zero tolerance for corruption. That agenda can only be achieved if we all play our parts by joining the campaign against all forms of economic crimes and corruption. Good evening and welcome to the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari. With me on the program is Aisha Mohammed.
Hello. Hi, Aisha. Hello and welcome to another interesting edition of the program.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On our highlights today, Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ibrahim Lamurde, throws a strong challenge to civil society organizations in the country to look inwards and fully support the anti-graft agency in its efforts aimed at ridding Nigeria of all forms of economic crimes and corruption.
The Acting Director, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Francis Usani, has charged regulatory and law enforcement agencies in the country to work together towards achieving the set objectives of the National Risk Assessment Project.
And on our special focus segment, Golden Agu will bring you a concluding part of our Vox Pop, which seeks to know who is more corrupt between a man and a woman.
Please stay tuned as Olufemi Adeyemi brings you our first report after the break. Don't go away.
Cheers! Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself. Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call. Anytime I close my eyes, yes, I see dead people chasing me in my sleep. My Jehovah Magadam. Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past? Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you. Hey! Was you all contractors? I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief. You are supposed to fly, especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing to submit other people's money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison. Chief, jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquiring wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Lamurde, has thrown a strong challenge to civil society organizations, CSOs, in the country to look inwards and fully support the anti-graft agency in its concerted efforts aimed at ridding the country of economic and financial crimes. The comments of the agency's boss, which were made at a share fair workshop tagged Fulfilling its Mandate, Government Leading Anti-Corruption Efforts, organized by Clean Foundation in Abuja, comes on the heels of an orchestrated protest at the premises of the EFCC in Abuja by a rented crowd claiming to be representatives of CSOs in the country, under the aegis of Coalition of Civil Liberties and Equity. Represented by the agency's Director of Operations, Olaolu Adegbite, Lamurde noted that it was essential for the society at large, including the CSOs, to see themselves as partners with the EFCC in the war on corruption.
I want to focus my discussion this morning on the anti-corruption issue. Yes, of course, we have a culture of melodrama, which maybe outsiders will have to bear with us. If you go to Nigerian media, you may be tempted to believe that all we stand for is just corruption. It's not true. The issue of corruption, of course, has a lot of innuendos and over-exaggerations and drama around it. This is a big issue to us. It impacts negatively yearly on the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, because everything here, people want to use that word corruption, 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 as if everybody is corrupt. We have public servants who are not corrupt. We have politicians who are doing extremely well. From my point of view as an enforcer, we receive deluge of information, petitions, complaints. Many of them, of course, are outright falsehood. Several are wide exaggerations, unsubstantiated facts.
He added that the Commission now sees those who are partners in progress from those who, though parade themselves as civil society organizations, but are actually tools in the hands of some corrupt individuals in the country.
We've been doing a lot since our creation that's enforcing all these laws. We have been able to prosecute the big and the small. My concern dwells basically on petty corruption. Grand corruption, there will be no problem with that. You always leave evidence trail for us. By the time you are taking millions of dollars, we will not have problem solving that. The issue of public corruption, I believe the NGOs here present may want to address their mind on that. Corruption is not limited, of course, to the people in big offices. We see people talking about corruption, but in our daily lives, it's a culture. It's something we need to imbibe properly to make our task as anti-corruption agencies much easier. And that is why at EFCC, we believe in engaging with the civil society groups. We have the ACE network, that is, we signed an MOU with a group of NGOs who are focused on anti-corruption, and we are doing a lot with them.
The Share Fair workshop, which was organized in partnership with the Campaign for Good Governance, Partners for Democratic Change, Institute for War and Peace Reporting, and Budget, provided yet another platform to further highlight the ills of corruption on the ordinary citizen, as well as fashion out ways of ensuring victory over the scourge. Abdul Rahman Mansare, a senior prosecutor with Sierra Leone's Anti-Corruption Commission, shed light on the efforts the commission had made in curbing corruption in the country. Describing corruption as a monster that deprives people of better life, he said, "It is essential to have political will to fight corruption, as this is the starting point."
The Anti-Corruption Act of 2008, you see the legislative changes. In 2000 was the legislation that brought the anti-corruption into existence. But in 2008, with the ushering of the Kuruma government, we see legislative changes into the Anti-Corruption Act. The act was amended, and its amendment gives independence to the Anti-Corruption Commission. The Anti-Corruption Commission now investigates and prosecutes cases without resort to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Before 2008, it was the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice that prosecutes anti-corruption cases. Anti-corruption will only investigate the matter and send the file to the Minister of Justice. But in the coming of the 2008 Amendment Act, that ambit, that independence now comes to the anti-corruption. We now prosecute, we now investigate our own cases. It also expands the corruption offenses, the scope of the corruption offenses. The 2008 also expands that ambit. It also gives mandate. It also makes it mandatory for all civil servants to fill in what we call asset declaration form. Before then, it was not. So before you take any government office, any government position, you have to fill asset declaration form. You declare your asset. So when at the time you leave office, everybody knows that, this man acquired so and so property when he was a minister, or when he was made permanent secretary, or when he was made chief driver. So before you take any government appointment, or before you are employed as a civil servant, you have to declare. It's only with this 2008 Act, make it mandatory for all government officials, civil servants to declare.
Joe Abba, Director General, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, stressed the importance of Freedom of Information Act, urging Nigerians to utilize it as part of their contributions in checking corruption in the society. Olufemi Adeyemi, Reporting for the Eagle.
The Acting Director of Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit (NFIU), Francis Usani, has charged regulatory and law enforcement agencies in the country to work together towards achieving the set objectives of the National Risk Assessment Project initiated in 2013. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi is our guide.
He said this during a one-day sensitization workshop for selected regulatory and law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. In his welcome address, Usani urged the participants to understand the attendant challenges while making concerted efforts to surmount them within the 18-month timeline of the project. He said the workshop was organized to afford the various regulatory agencies the opportunity to assess the current parameters used for the conduct of Mutual Evaluation Exercise (MEE). According to him, there is a need to sensitize the various regulatory agencies in the NRA project on data collection and research methodologies so as to distinguish between relevant and irrelevant data. The event, which featured presentation of papers by several participants, was attended by some regulatory and law enforcement bodies, including the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), the State Security Service (SSS), the Nigeria Customs, the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC), the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering (SCUMO), and the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), amongst others. The National Risk Assessment Project started in March 2013 with 18 months timeline to complete the project. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi reporting for the Eagle.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has arraigned 10 persons and a vessel, MVPs, for their alleged involvement in illegal oil bunkering. Olufemi Adeyemi has details on this.
MVPs and its crew members, James Abaton, Wasiu Abdul Owonikoko, Patrick Ame, Johnson Ademola, Felix Otto, Chigozie Oguike, Olu Salisu, Jomo Gadagbe, Kunle Oba Sahid, and Rashid Adio were intercepted about 5 nautical miles off Lagos Fairway Buoy by the Nigerian Navy ship Ikot Abasi on the 4th of April 2015 on suspicion of illegal dealing in petroleum products. The offense is contrary to Section 3 of the Miscellaneous Offences Act, Cap M17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and punishable under Section 1, Subsection 17 of the same Act. The accused persons pleaded not guilty to the 3 count charges leveled against them. In view of the plea of the accused, the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Oyedepo, prayed the court for a trial date and to remand the accused in prison custody. However, counsel to all accused persons, Dada Aoshika, said he had filed an application for bail and prayed the court for a short adjournment for hearing. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for the Eagle.
In another development, Justice Valentine Ashi of the FCT High Court, sitting in Abuja, has expressed his dissatisfaction at what he believes to be a deliberate delayed tactics on the part of counsel for Emmanuel Okoyomo, former managing director of Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, whose extradition to the United Kingdom has been ordered by her Federal High Court, Abuja. Golden Agu has more.
Okoyomo's extradition is being sought by the UK government over his alleged role in the bribery allegation involving officials of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the NSPMC, and Security International PT of Australia between 2006 and 2008. Justice Ashi had at the last sitting on August 5, 2015, fixed August 12, 2015, for hearing on the preliminary objection raised by the Attorney General of the Federation to the bail application brought by Okoyomo's counsel, Mike Enahoro. Enahoro had approached the court to challenge Okoyomo's continued incarceration at Kuje prisons, accusing the Deputy Controller in charge, Medium Security Prison, Kuje, and the Attorney General of the Federation of denying Okoyomo of his right to personal liberty. The Deputy Controller was absent in court on August 5, 2015, despite being ordered by the court to appear that day. He had sent in a letter stating that Okoyomo was being held at the prison by virtue of a remand order by the Court of Appeal. The letter and the action of the prison officer, however, angered the judge, who subsequently ordered that he present himself in court. At the resumed sitting, Muslim Hassan, representing the AGF, apologized on behalf of the prison officer who was also present in court. However, Justice Ashi, a vacation judge, found himself in a tight corner as his intention to hear the preliminary objection raised by the AGF to Okoyemon's bail application with the aim of speeding up the case could not go on as planned, as the defense counsel further brought a counter-affidavit and a written address which the prosecuting counsel told the court that he was not privy to before the sitting. The judge, while adjourning the case till August 24, 2015 for definite hearing, urged the counsel to avoid engaging in delay tactics with regards to the case. Golden Argo reporting for the Eagle.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough, I don't need pay. I don't need pay.
Reminiscing as I walked in my car, thinking about how we used to be. For Ekuma, I did ride Okada, and most times I did so carry. I wanted to change the way I live, but I didn't have to do those things. Now I'm rolling VIP, and all the girls wanna be like me. Yeah. You ask me how I deal with my reality. Gotta tell you truly, it ain't easy now. I feel the pressure to find something wrong to do. Then I remember you reap what you sow. Now I'm sitting staring at the screen of my computer, thinking really hard about what truly matters. What's with all this data? Just to catch a maga. He could have been my father or someone else's brother.
For me to take make my dough, no need for me to go cafe. I hustle hard to make my pay. No need to do yahoo yahoo, to do yahoo yahoo. 7 in the morning, it's a brand new day. I still swollen, still at the cafe, hustling real hard from Sunday to Sunday, hoping someday that Maga will pay. But Maga no need pay for me to live correct. They call me Mr. Capable. I got my self-respect. No need to do yahoo yahoo for me to cash a check. I don't need no Maga, just work hard and
Tell me what a boy like me should do. That I heard the guys do yahoo yahoo. And if I do not do it, I'm uncool. I'll be a fool to the girls in school. Maga no need pay to get a good degree. You'll have a great opportunity. Don't have to hack and attack. Make use of CD cracks. We keep it original. Now you know my swag.
For me to take make my dough, no need for me to go cafe. I hustle hard to make my pay. No need pay, no need to do yahoo yahoo, to do yahoo yahoo.
Thank you for joining us again on the program. On this program last week, we brought you a Vox Pop which seeks to know from different respondents who is more corrupt between a man and a woman.
Does gender play any role in corruption? Golden Argo is standing by with the concluding part of the interviews. Her report.
Could masculinity be an explanation for the high number of men indicted for corruption?
Because of the rigidity of man can be very, very corrupt. Now, a woman is very, very flexible. When you say do this, and you go back to tell her, a woman can easily turn. But a man had a hardened heart. He doesn't believe anything can happen to him. So in the office, when you say, woman, if you do this thing, they will deal with you. You say, sorry, I won't do it again.
A woman here is a very weak vessel comparable to men. And then when we talk about issue in offices, you could see that men are highly, highly corrupt.
I think I should throw that blame to men. Okay. Yeah.
Why do you say so?
If you just look around, you will know that women, they are home builders. their mothers, you know. I don't think they will do anything that will jeopardize the image of their family, you know. So as they build up their families, so they will like to take it to the nation building.
Others, however, strongly believe that women are more corrupt.
Honestly speaking, without missing words, to say the facts, the women are more corrupt.
Okay, so why do you say so?
Okay. There's a saying that behind every successful man there is a woman. And I'm still saying today that behind every corrupt man, there is a woman.
I think it's women that is more corrupt.
Why do you say so?
Because for the past 6 years ago, is this Jonathan regime, is women that came to spoil that regime.
Okay.
You understand? Since we don't have women in government, I think the government was very, very okay. But since they came into government, everything in government gets scattered. I think if they should arrest women, I think I would be more happy. I'm a woman anyway, but I never like women one day because of the kind of mind they have towards men. I don't like it.
Okay.
You understand? They are more corrupt. I don't like women. As well as I'm a woman. You understand?
That means you don't like yourself.
I don't like, even myself, I don't like myself. You understand? I hate their character. I don't like women for anything.
In spite of all this, is there a way forward?
The government has to do something about it because, like they say, when the fish starts to rot, it begins from the head. Also, it's the same thing when change comes. I mean real change. When it comes, it starts from the leadership. With good leadership and with sincerity of purpose, corruption will be wiped out.
The way forward is to be sincere within ourselves. Be a good Nigerian, patriotic Nigerian. If you are a good Nigerian, wherever you are, you excel.
I think it has to do with our value system. Okay. Our value system. Each and everybody, corruption is a personal fight. You just have to decide, I won't do it. It is not until someone monitors. Even if you are monitored, you can evade it. But if you make a personal decision in your heart that I decide not to be corrupt, I think you can scale through.
The only way forward is we should live within our means. We should not be eager to acquire everything. Because if I desire today, if I see my friend with a car of 5 million naira and my salary is 1 million, if I have the opportunity to steal, I'm going to steal to buy that car. So we should be able to live within our means. Once that is achieved, another way this can be checkmate is by what? Justice from the side of the government. If you're caught, there should be a penalty.
Our recent governments have been taking the very right direction, but at least bring some people to books, even the high class one, the people we always see as untouchable. When you make example and scapegoat of people, I think the upcoming one will desist from such practices.
The way forward is just, knowing God. That means fear of God. When you have God in you, I don't think you have any, mind, any means of trying to do anything that will dent the image of your country.
With my experience, both men and women are corrupt. Because before we think that men are more corrupt than the women. Well, because when you look at the society today, the pressure of survival, you find out that women are working very hard also to make contribution to the house, to support their husband and their families as well. So you now find women also being corrupt. So men and women in our system today are corrupt.
All said, one thing is clear. The menace of corruption affects each and every one of us. It is a monster that is not determined by race, religion, or gender. It is a cankerworm that we must all work assiduously to tackle. All hands must be on deck, as anti-graft agencies cannot win the war alone. Golden Argo reporting for the Eagle.
Aisha,
Yes, Aisha.
I agree with some of the respondents who said corruption has nothing to do with gender. It cannot be determined by a particular factor.
Indeed, it cannot be determined by a single factor, because the effects of corruption is not selective in its devastating consequences. I mean, when we have bad roads, it affects
all of us, yeah.
You have poor facilities, it affects all of us. So let's all come together to say no to corruption so that we can save ourselves from the consequences of bearing the cost of corruption. Viewers, that is how far we can take on today's edition of the program. Please don't forget to send your contributions to the Eagle at efccnigeria.org. And if you have missed any part of this program, please log on to our YouTube platform via youtube.com/official EFCC.
You can also search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or officialefccng@gmail.com. Don't forget to also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. I am Aisha Mohammed, hoping to see you next week, God willing. Bye-bye.
I remain yours sincerely, Aisha Gambari. Thank you for watching and God bless Nigeria.